Yo, it's Xander checking in, man. And honestly, what I want to say today is that it's been a wonderful day, man. I hope that everybody's having a wonderful day, and I hope everybody continues to have a wonderful day. And yeah, just enlighten people, enlighten yourself, and just have a wonderful day. The thought keeps crossing my head as to why not. And I don't know what it really contains to, but when I think of why not, I think of why can't I do something, or why am I not the chosen one? And the truth be told is that we are all chosen to be something eventually in all realities. You know what I'm saying? We're chosen to either live, chosen to die. We are all chosen to be something, be someone. And I feel like the part of that journey to learn and discover that is kind of harsh. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you have to go through a lot of trials just to find your why not. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of dates back to like when we were children, we didn't have to go through all these trials to date our why not. If we wanted to jump off of a cliff or do something, or jump into a sand pit and play with sand and mess up our hair, we would. You know what I'm saying? If we wanted to scream at the top of our lungs because we seen somebody, we would. But that monitoring person that was over us always said, what? You can't do that in this certain environment. And I think that monitoring person kind of enabled something in us to kind of condone and kind of, I'm not gonna say condone, but kind of trap and label that why not, and put it to a why are you doing this in this environment. You know what I'm saying? It gave you that second guess. And it's not the monitoring person's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to colonize you and not make you into an animal. But the truth is, you are an animal in a way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's not their fault because they're learning the same thing. When they were younger, they couldn't do it. So how can you expect a different outcome? Change the monitoring people. But in order to change the monitoring people, the older people would have to be more mature. And I feel like that's where we're starting to head as like a community society, is that the older people are starting to be a whole lot more mature on what you can do, and a whole lot just freedom based type of people, and I think that's truly something beautiful that you don't see every day, like we, especially the last couple centuries, and not even centuries, last couple generations, it's been rough seeing just people and their leaders. Like, leaders were fighting for either civil rights or they were fighting for equal equality. You know what I'm saying? And now they're fighting for real freedom, like freedom of the mind, freedom of everything. And that goes to say that why not join that fight? Why not join that fight? Why not step out the box? And when I just think of stepping out the box, that's all I really think about, is that we've evolved to the point where we've moved past fighting for freedom of rights, and moved past that. Now, I'm not saying there's not still problems. There's definitely still problems. But we're now more towards the freedom of the mind and the material. You know what I'm saying? And that's so amazing to see, because it's now cutting into the point where the dollar isn't actually worth the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to go get an education if you don't want to. Now, if you do want to, you still can, but you don't have to. Like, you have the right to choose. Like, choice is a beautiful thing, and it's honestly not seen that much. A lot of times people don't have the choice to really do anything, but they do have the choice, but they're put in certain circumstances where they don't have the actual choice, like not that the logical choice in a sense. For example, say you have a child and you want your child to have the best of things and pursue wonderful things, and in your own opinion you don't feel like you're up to par with pursuing those wonderful things yourself. Now, as a leader, as an example, you either have the choice to pursue those things yourself or just continue to preach to the child. Now, a logic standpoint is that you can't just preach to somebody something that has not been done by you before. You have to logically set the example. And that's what I mean right there. That choice to bridge your mind to understand that you have to logically set the example for that child in order for that child to succeed. You know what I'm saying? We all want the children to be better than us or more successful or successful in any ways. But what we're not seeing is that our us as ourselves are not as successful as we want to be, and the children with that, the children cannot be as successful as they want to be. Okay, that's a lot of I see a snake, I see a snake, I see a snake. But no, that's what I'm trying to get at. It's a lot of benders, man. It's a lot of benders. And I'm just very grateful just to, be talking on this phone. I really don't be thinking about it that much, but I'm just grateful to be talking on this phone, grateful to be up, and grateful to be able to speak the way I want to. Yeah. That's what we gonna say today.